しなさい。オーケー。Let's go!
I'm up here.
Everybody sit down.
Greetings, Colonel.
I said sit down! Now, you know how I don't like to use the sit-down gun, but this morning we just don't have time for mucking about. Major Allied cities have come under attack.
Nazis?
Close your... All right, let's get straight to the biscuits. At 0800 hours this morning, an American soldier was eaten by a Nazi dinosaur.
That's a Tyrannosaurus Rex.
No, Claire, that's a Tyrannosaurus Rex. Try thinking first before you open your mouth.
That's a Tyrannosaurus Rex.
No, Claire,
Hello,
that's a Tyrannosaurus
and welcome back to the channel. How's everybody doing tonight? You know, might have an interesting stream for you guys tonight. You know, we're probably going to do some drawing. We're probably going to do some scrandle. We're probably going to just, you know, wax and wane and talk intellectual. Probably going to show off my sweet new Godzilla Cross Misfits shirt. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Scamps, what's going on? What up, Glenn? K-pop, how you guys doing? How's everybody doing tonight? We're in here. We're looking svelte. We're just glamming it up. We're fashion forward. You know? I got this weird mouse pad in the mail randomly with some stuff I bought. I didn't even order a mouse pad, but it's cool. You know what I'm saying? You know, that's just how it is. So I'm going to pop over here, right? Because I'm going to start this off. I'm going to start this off in the best way I know how. Right? And so you guys might be saying to yourself, Jay, what's going on? What is this majesty that you're talking about, right? And so here's what's going to happen. We're going to pop over here, and you guys might not even be ready for what I'm about to do. Right? Are you saying I have two audios? Hold on. It's possible. It's possible. Is that better? Is there a lacking of audio? Now? Is it good now? Okay. No, I didn't say scramble. Okay, so you guys aren't going crazy. We're good. Okay, because the reason why you're probably hearing a little extra is because I was setting up for this and then didn't realize, and I pushed a button, and now we're good. All right. So, without further ado, this is where we're going. This is the future. Here's where we are. Scrandle. Right? We got on the left, right here. Right? Where are we going? Scotch eggs, 3 pounds. 10-inch sausage roll, $3.50. Which way are we going? Do you know what I'm saying? Am I going Chesham United FC 2025? Am I going with the Scotch eggs? Glenn is a no on the Scotch eggs. All right. So who's with me going for the sausage roll? Then we're going 10-inch sausage roll. Let's just assume it's good. It's a good sausage. Do you know what I mean? Let's just assume it's good sausage. Where are we going? We going sausage? Because that's where I'm thinking. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm looking at you. Okay, we got 2 for sausage. Scamps, where you at? Where you living, Scamps? Do you know what I mean? Are you down with this sausage roll? Am I pushing this button, Scamps? That's all I want to know. Let me know, Scamps. Let me find out. Glenn loves sausage rolls. Like, Glenn's voting twice. He's basically taking your vote, Scamps. You know? All right. So I don't hear any discerning votes for the eggs. We're going sausage. Okay, boom. We voted. All right, now, ooh, my God. Wembley 2025 burger with chips, $9. That burger is sad. Look at this. Look at this burger. And there's like a single pickle with that melted cheese. I don't think I want that. Hold on. Okay. Chips with Nutella for $3.30. Are we serious right now? Chips with Nutella? Is that a thing? Yeah, like this hot hamburger fiasco right here is like, it's sad, right? Like, I wouldn't be like, you know, this is how Garfield feels. This hamburger situation is how Garfield feels about Mondays. Right here in one image, right? Just sad, you know. This chips with Nutella thing, and like, it looks like, here's the thing, these fries look like they're sprinkled with stuff, like maybe cinnamon or something like that. Like, if that's the case, if we're cinnamon, like we're getting a little spice and we got the Nutella, that might be all right. Do you know what I'm saying? You're going with the chips with Nutella and just suck the Nutella off. But what if they're fried sweetly? Right? Like, what if they do have a little cinnamon? What if they have whatever? Okay, so everybody's like Nutella chips. All right, I'm loving it. 24%. Damn. Okay, we have meatloaf in a bun. Is that really considered a meatloaf? That just looks more like a piece of ham to me. Right? Like, right? It just looks like a ham on like maybe a Kaiser roll. You know, a Lieber Casemel, you know. I don't know. I'm looking over here, chips, sausage, and curry sauce. Like, I would go if it's between these two, I'm going like sausage, chips, and curry sauce, because those chips are pretty big, right? Like, assuming that this sausage isn't like these aren't like little Vienna wieners. Like, the actual cuts of the fries are actually pretty big, right? And then you're getting like a curry sauce. Now, if that curry sauce has like maybe some cheese in it or whatever, like this is the preferable all day, right? Do you know what I'm saying? Hey, Crooked Painter, what's going on? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, that's where we're going. Listen. So you don't want to be depressed, right? You just want decisive action. You want to know. Is it curry sauce or like a chili? I'm assuming it's more like a curry sauce. Like, you know, like it's not, you know, we're not going butter chicken. We're not going that kind of thing, but just like a light curry sauce. It's lightly spiced. You know what I mean? Like, I don't see any meat in there. I don't see chunks of meat. Like, it looks like a curry. Like, and maybe like, see these little strips right here? It could be a coconut. Do you know what I'm saying? There could be little pieces of coconut. Yeah, curry is milder than chili, right? So I think we've all agreed that we're going chips, sausage, and curry sauce, right? We're, boom, locked in, 54%. Damn. Okay. Chicken mayo onigiri, 90 cents. 90 cents. Well, you know, it's like, you know, pence. Is that pence, Glenn? Is it pence? What are we at here? What do you call your change, Glenn? It's not pesos, you know, shillings, doubloons. You know, where are we at here? You know, and then pie, double mash, and liquor. Like, that's a Coke. That's not liquor. Do you know what I'm saying? That's a Coke. Yeah, pence. Yeah. Like, I would go with the chicken onigiri every time, because it's just chicken and rice wrapped in seaweed, right? Like, that's basically what we're getting. Chicken rice wrapped in seaweed. You know, and like this kind of green sauce, that's putting me off, right? Like I don't want to like. There's no such thing as a good green sauce. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm just not having it. I'm not having anything to do with it. You know, it's a London thing. Okay, so tell me, Glenn. Tell me, Glenn. Let me know. What is in this pie? Is it like a mince? Is it like a mince meat pie? Like, do you know what I mean? And like, is it like, are they referring to the Coke as liquor, or is this have some kind of liquor in the sauce, like a liqueur? You know, it's not sprinkled with like. Listen, Scamps. If it was, it's a meat pie. Okay, so it's not sprinkled with weed, right, Scamps? Like, you know, we can all like dream big. You know what I'm saying? But if we get in here and we think about this in a real way, you know, we know what's up. Hey Noah, what's going on? Okay, so we're here. Like, you know, like let's go in the chat here. Like who is going for this pie double mash and liquor, and who's going straight for the chicken mayo onigiri? You know what I'm saying? Like I'm onigiri all day, right? Like, and twice on Sunday. You know what I mean? And it's like I'm going to assume it's like the Indo Milk Arena in Tangerang, right? Like if I'm at the Indo Milk Arena in Tangerang, I'm getting a chicken mayo onigiri. You know what I'm saying? Listen, sometimes when you assume, you make an ass out of you and me, Noah. You know what I mean? All right. So basically, okay. So I'm onigiri. What are we doing? We're everybody onigiri except for Glenn, who's staying faithful to his country, and I respect that. You know, listen, you're going for the chicken. Listen, I like that. I like that about you. All right. 36% went for the chicken. Okay. Oh God. Look at the sad state of affairs with this little pizza. Like, this looks worse than oven pizzas that you would get as a kid. What is this nonsense? I can't, like, why are we like this? Don't do this. It's a terrible pizza. This beer would have to be incredible to make this pizza worth eating. Oh, hello, Sumo. How you doing? Listen, Sumo, we went with the onigiri, Sumo. Don't worry about it. Right? Right? It looked like it looks worse than an English muffin. If it was an English muffin, I would give them points for variety and creativity. But this is like now, granted, this pepperoni might be spicy. It looks like it's like, you know, chunked off there. But you know what I mean? Like, but here we go. Here we are right here. Pork shank sausage and cheese sandwich. Like, I'm sorry, but like if my option is beer and a slice of pizza or this pork shank sausage and cheese sandwich, it's this all day. Right? Like there's no reason. Right? Like there's no reason you wouldn't eat this. Like even if they were like, no, you can't have a beer the rest of the day at this, you know, football game or whatever, obviously, whatever sporting event you're going to. And I'm going to pay more. It's $4.80, right? That's probably $10 where I am, right? So I'd rather pay more and get the pork shank sausage and cheese sandwich than get this pizza and beer that would look, just looking at it makes me sad, right? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, why? Don't do it. Okay, we're locked in. I don't even care, right? What the chat thinks at this point. It is 100% pork shank. 87.8%. My God. Okay, we're back here again. We've got a new sausage roll contender stepping in here. $3. Okay, this is this, holy shit. Okay, this is the saddest thing. A veggie dog with a Molson Canadian. Ugh. Like, again, $16.60 or 1660 pounds, right? Like, that's insane. That is insane to me. Like, no beer and hot dog combination on earth is worth that. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah, like, I don't know. Like, the Molson Canadian gives it away. Like, maybe, like, yeah, Vancouver. Canada 60 cricket, Vancouver 2025. Damn it. Like, that's crazy. That's crazy. All right, we're all on sausage roll train, and I get it. I get it. Right? Like, boom, sausage 66.5%. Like, we're rolling here. Ooh, what do we have here? These vegan tacos, like, okay. Here's the thing, right? Vegan food, like if you're saying to yourself, I need meat in all my food, I would agree with you. I would be right there with you, right? But these look all right. They'll squirt of lime, like I'm assuming like this is like an avocado guac style sauce with some kind of mayo, or possibly a sour cream. That'd be all right. Okay, this meat pie and potato thing, I don't know, right? Like, I feel like if I ate the meat pie and potato thing, I would feel heavy. This has like a heavy look to it. But if I ate the tacos, I think I'd be like light stepping the rest of the day. You know what I mean? Like I wouldn't have. Yeah, the tacos are, yes, scamps, you get it. They look, they are pleasing to the eye. The tacos please me. You know what I'm saying? As a benevolent ruler, the tacos have pleased me. You'll try that. You've never had a taco. Are you fucking kidding me right now? Is this what's happening? What is this Glenn. For the love of God, man. Go out and get some good tacos. Like, if you have not had a taco, I mean, it's like saying you've never made love to a woman, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like you need to go out and you need to get knee deep in some tacos. You know what I'm saying? Like, you need to, like, right into the garage. You know what I'm saying? Like, into those tacos. Like, bam. Tacos. That's all I'm saying. So, we're all tacos all the time. Okay. Whew. Glenn. Whew. You had me worried there. You had me going. Okay. We're here. We're at the University of Miami, 2025. The Mark Light Shake Special. It's a Philly cheesesteak milkshake, vanilla ice cream, vanilla syrup, mini cheesecake sandwich. No price. Because this is priceless. Exactly, scamps. I don't understand this. Like, this disturbs me, right? Like, why? Why is it just jammed in there? Did they jam? Like, is this actually on the menu? Can you get a Mark Light special, right? Like, no. Like, listen, it seems like a bad call. It seems like a bad decision for everybody, right? Like, I'm immediately unfond of this. Now we're back over here, right? We're at Wimbledon, right? We got this pie, we got gravy, and we got peas. Like, for once I have to pick the pie, mash, peas, and gravy. Right? There's no other option for me, right? Like if I'm on a desert island and these two things show up, because, like, believe me, I love a Philly cheesesteak. Let's not play around here. Let's not front here, right? I'm eating the Philly cheesesteak every damn time if it's on its own. But if you have jammed it into a vanilla milkshake, I'm out. Like, my meat and cheese do not go in to the vanilla ice cream. That's not how that works. It comes after, right? Like, listen, you'll get pie and fling the peas at Glenn. Yes, that's exactly what you have to do. But here's the thing, right? You eat the Philly cheesesteak, and it's fine. It's fine for the ice cream to follow it up, right? Like the chaser, the milkshake chaser is fine for the Philly steak. But you do not put them together. The two hence shall not meet in the same verbiage. You know what I mean? Exactly. Like, I threw up in my mouth a little bit just thinking about it. All right, we got to get away from this. We're clearly just going for the mash and gravy. 36%. Like, goddamn, that's what. Jesus Christ, this is the saddest hot dog I have ever seen. And why is it so pink on the end? I don't. This like okay, all right, okay. Hold on. Hot dog. This hot dog looks like something you would get. The entire they should be like this looks like a circumcision gone wrong. Do you know what I mean? Like this looks like something that like when you're pulling it out, you have to like there's caveats, right? Like where you're like, girl, man, it like I listen, I got to warn you up front that like you're gonna see things and just please look past what I'm about to show you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, there's no sauce, there's no sauerkraut, there's no mustard, there's no relish, there's nothing, there's no cheese, there's no garnish, right? There's no love here. And then over here, though, we have this one who looks like you're at some Karen's like backyard barbecue, but she's trying to be fancy, and instead of giving you like a real bun for your dog, she gives you like this Kaiser roll looking shit and puts all the condiments on the side. And like that's a paper plate, right? Like this is a fancy paper plate. Do you know what I'm saying? And listen, Dale, we're going to like we're building, right? We're laying a foundation for the art, Dale. Do you know what I'm saying? You can't jump right into the art. You have to experience Scrandle. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's a fancy sausage. It's they've cut it up, and make it look pretty, and we're not going. So where are we at here? You're going with the Kibolsa Buho all day. All right, let's do that. Like, I mean, this is sad, and this leaves everyone wanting, right? Like, there's nothing to be proud about here, right? You don't show this to anyone. This area, there's a sadness to it. All right, we're gone. We're at here 79%. Oh my God. Okay, this double bacon cheeseburger. Look at this. Okay. Now, are we saying that it's like, because that's not like, I'm telling you right now, I don't even know what to say about this one sad piece of bacon. Like it says double bacon right here. Like I expect 3 strips of bacon and bacon down here. And then it looks like see down bottom here where the mouse is? See where my little pointer is? It looks like there are 2 pieces of cheese on the bottom, not in between the patties, right? And like there's no condiments here. There's no like accoutrement, right? Like this is sad, right? Somebody paid $6.50 for this and then weeped the rest of the day, right? Like unreal. Right? Like double bacon, like scamps. Yes, like this is unfortunate. Okay, but over here, here's where I would roll. Smoked sausage and slaw. Right? Like look at this. This looks beautiful. And you know what it looks like? If we got our detective hats on, right? We're in here and it looks like this bun is toasted on the inside the way God intended. Do you know what I mean? It looks like whoever cooked this threw this on the grill, right? And just made that inside, it gives you that mouthfeel when you bite into the sandwich, when you get that crispy toasted inside of the bun just before your teeth break through the strata that is the meat. So good. Do you know what I mean? Like this, these culinary delights are exactly what I'm here for. Like the double bacon cheeseburger, this makes me sad, right? This makes my mouth unhappy. But this smoked sausage and slaw sandwich, like this is what it's all about. I would eat the hell out of this. You know what I'm saying? Oh, so good. All right. I'm not even respecting the chat here. I'm just, yeah, right. Like, you know what I'm saying? You get that crunch, your teeth break through to the strata like little miners digging their way for, sausage-based gold. Oh, so good. 59%. I agree with everybody here. Oh my God. Okay. All right. So this is like the most uncooked looking stadium dog I have ever seen. Like big points for not fit into your pants. You know what I'm saying? Like when you gotta adjust the length and girth so that you're coming out of both ends. You know what I mean? It's crazy, right? Like this stadium dog is sad. But here's what's sadder. Crisps and peanuts. This is just a little dish full of like potato chips and some kind of saucy nuts. And it's $2? No. Listen, Sumo, I am not selecting any of these things. These are all pre-selected. This is the scrandle that you're getting into. You know what I'm saying? Like this is Chippendale. That's the kind of peanuts these squirrels, these are the nuts these squirrels are looking for. You know what I'm saying? At least the stadium dog, like you got, look at that ketchup and mustard, like artfully draped along that turgid member. You know what I'm saying? That tumescent dog. You know what I'm saying? You know, this bun looks a little sad. Like I feel like I can feel this bun on my teeth, right? And it's unpleasant. But the hot dog itself, even though it looks undercooked, you know, like it should, like, you know, I'm not seeing any kind of splits on the end. I'm not seeing the real heat hit it. I feel like I would have to go with the stadium dog, right? Like this to me is like, why would I even bother? That's not going to do anything for me, you know? And who knows how long this game is? You know, I could be there all day. Yeah. Listen, Glenn, just everyone, you know, has a fat inside them, right? You know what I'm saying? And so deep down everybody, you know, is like, hey, I could be the fattest motherfucker on the planet. Let me at this hot dog. You know what I'm saying? Whoa. Damn, Sumo. All right. We're going for the stadium dog. Okay. So I'm a flawless scanner. 10 out of 10. Community average. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to go in here. We're going to hit it. We're going to super scrandle. We're in here. All right, boys. We've got ourselves a chicken biryani. You know, it looks like a long grain rice. You know, I mean, it does look a little sad. Like I'm looking at the barbecue pulled pork burger. And while my bun is not, whoa, Sumo, damn, your fat leaked to the outside a bit. Whoa, damn. Listen, if your fat leaked outside of you for longer than 4 hours, I would see a doctor. Okay, here's the thing, right? Like, I think the pulled pork, you know, with the sauce and stuff on it, it's probably okay. Where I get to questioning things, right? Where my skepticism falls in, is this bun, right? Like, is this bun gonna be like as dry as it appears to be? Like, I don't know. Like, if my choice is this chicken rice or this pulled pork, it's this pulled pork every day, right? Like, you know, I'm gonna like, cause this long grain, plain looking white ass rice, just isn't doing it for me. You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying. Oh, and this is the bet. I'm going to go 40%. 70. Holy. All right. See, we're getting into averages and betting. You know what I'm saying? You should be. You should be focused on the pork burger. Pulled pork. Okay, now here we go. Previously, we had a double burger that looked sad. This one at least looks good. You got cheese on both. You got a nice little selection of onions there. You know, we got some pickles, some tomatoes, some lettuce. I can't even see the bun. There's so many like condiments and accoutrements. And then these fries got, I'm going to assume it's mayo, right? You know, and you got this nice little, this hamburger skewer. It's looking good. It's looking good, boys. It's looking good. Apple and mince pie crumble. Okay, now Glenn, with custard. You're gonna have to translate for me right now. What is a mince pie crumble? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, what's on offer in the mince pie crumble? Like, is that a meat mince pie, or are we talking about like a non-meat selection? Do you know what I'm saying? Also, hello Henry Bemis. Hello Alex. What's up, my ninjas? How you doing? Yeah, like it's the hamburger all day for sure. Do you know what I'm saying? It's the hamburger all day for sure. You know, and like I'm going high 60. I'm going high 60. 73%. We're in here. We're in here. Okay. We have some jerk chicken. Okay, I can't with this green sauces. I can't do it. Like this looks like this doesn't even look cooked. Like somebody tell me right now that this does not look like the doughiest pie you've ever seen. Do you know what I'm saying? Like I'm out here living my best life. I am going for this jerk chicken and what looks like some slaw on the side, and then I'm not sure what this red mound in the back is. But I think I'm willing to take a chance on a red mound over a green goo. You know what I mean? Like that to me is the optimal, right? See, like even a British person, right, who this is their wheelhouse, is saying pass on this, right? Like this green pea goop and this, they're passing on it. And so I'm here to agree and also shame you for not being more patriotic. Mince pies are a sweet dessert pie at Christmas. Okay, so there's like, it would almost be like a birthday cake blizzard, right? Like if you are a human eating real human food, right? Yeah, minced pies are meat. Mince pies. Okay, so the D on the end is the indication of meat. Okay. You know, this cultural exchange is appreciated, Glenn. Do you know what I mean? Okay, so I think we're all in the jerk chicken camp. Do you know what I'm saying? I think we're all in this jerk chicken camp. And so we're gonna hit it. Boom, 71%. I'm living it. I'm living this jerk chicken. Okay, oh my God. This mushroom pizza? No. Look at that. There's like, it's not even like they're arranged in a pleasing visual way. Like this is sad. Like, do you know what I mean? Like he looks like he's like, you know, down like right on the field. But you think if you're on the field, like, and here, okay, all right, here's the thing, right? So if I'm paying $8 for a mushroom pizza, or 8 pounds, you know, I'm just going to say dollars to make it good for every human on the planet. But if I can get a liter of beer and 2 hot dogs for $8.60, what are you doing? I'm eating 37 hot dogs and being smashed out of my mind by the time I leave this place. Do you know what I'm saying? Hey, Mark, what's going on? How you doing? Do you know what I mean? Like, if my option is a mushroom pizza, no drink, and my other option is 2 hot dogs with a liter of beer, it's the beer all day, right? Like 100%. Yeah, 79. Like I'm betting high. Do you know what I mean? Oh my God. No. This looks like it's like, okay, what is with this photo? This photo, like, okay, this is what's blowing my mind right now. I know the British are a pasty and pale people, right? But this guy looks like he has latex gloves on. This looks like it's taking place in a lab. Like this bun looks like it's like been grown. Like it's not even properly colored. And then what's he squirting on that? Like, and there's no cheese. There's no pickles. There's no nothing. Like this is like a mystery sauce. It's like brown. It's not even ketchup. What is this? It's $5.80. What is even happening here? What is going on? Yeah, listen, YouTube is the worst when it comes to notifications. You know, like people will tell you that notifications are amazing, and I'm here to tell you that they're not. Do you know what I mean? Like, I might as well be sending out smoke signals in this place. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Do you think the photo, like, no cheese, like this bun is sad? Like oh. And then we slide over here. And then this is question mark, right? Like, if my option is burger that looks like this and question mark, now these look like some kind of, like, I don't know, some kind of chicken wraps, or maybe, like, I don't know, it's got some kind of green sauce there, but it could be like queso, right? So if I'm getting, like, maybe it's chicken, looks like it could be some feta cheese in there. You know, like, I see, like, vegetables. Like, I'm sorry, but I would have to go with the question mark. I'd pay twice as much not to eat this burger. I'll tell you that for free. I'd pay 3 times as much not to have to eat this burger. Do you know what I mean? Oh, damn, Scamps. You missed the sumo stream, too. Damn. Yeah, like, yeah, exactly. A salsa verde. Yeah. Exactly. So, like, okay, we're going with this all day. Like, mystery meat, 3 steak tacos. Oh, it says after you pick it. They're 3 steak tacos. Oh, they're mixing it up here. Some rando. Okay. Now, we seen the previous double bacon cheeseburger. And this burger right here, this burger takes that burger out back behind the barn and shoots it in the face, right? Like, it, like, discriminate. Like, it totally discriminates. It literally seen that burger and thought bad of it just to the sight of it, right? And so now we're seeing what a real double bacon cheeseburger looks like. It's like, we got seeds on the bun, and that bun looks like it has a nice, like, buttery glaze on it. Oh, damn, girl. And then over here, we have this really sad, bloody penis, right? What looks like 2 pieces of brown bread, you know, with this, like, there's not enough. Okay. The condiment to wiener ratio is completely off, right? Like, how little ketchup can you make work for this dog? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's unreal. Like, this is a no contest, right? Like, it's unreal. Yeah, oh my god, it slapped it in the side of the head and told it to go home, and then shot it in the back of the head so it wouldn't know what was coming. You know what I'm saying? Saveloys are like the red sausages. Okay, so what is a Saveloy and the red sausage? Explain to me. Educate me on the red sausage. You know? That's all I'm saying. You know? Regardless, I have to go with this double bacon cheeseburger. It looks delightful. You know what I'm saying? 87.28%. God damn. Okay, whoa. Okay, it looks like we have some kind of meat. I'm going to assume it's beef, coeur de canard. You know, we got little skewers. Don't tell me it's a Red Rocket. God damn. Don't do it to me. It's sold in fish and chip sauce called Savoy. It's turkey meat in a sausage. All right. Okay, so, and then my other option is a Hanschen Schnitzel. And so I'm going to assume this is, like, you know, some kind of breaded meat and mayo inside, like, a nice, you know, kind of bun. Fried chicken breast. Okay, it's fried chicken breast. Duck heart. Oh, coeur de canard duck heart. Yeah, I'm probably going to go with the fried chicken breast every time. Like, I'm not sure how many duck hearts, you know, as a fan of DuckTales, you know, I don't think I can eat the duck hearts. I'm probably going to have to go with the Hanschen Schnitzel. 91%. Let's go. Man, I'm doing good. Oh, what do we have here? Unicorn pancakes with confetti syrup. Okay. All right. Your colorful plumage has attracted a mate. Hello. How are you doing, unicorn pancakes? Okay, but we have a contender here, right? We have this breakfast stack for $5, right? Like, are you sweet breakfast or are you savory breakfast? Right? Like that's do you know what I mean? Like I'm going to assume this is like a hash brown with the egg, and then we got the sausages, right? We just gotta, right? Like that's the only plausible and reasonable thing to think, right? That this is a hash brown of some kind, right? Listen, the other one looks too sugary, but here's the thing, right? You got this mound of whipped cream, right? Mound, and then it's got this confetti, biz here. And then you get these colorful pancakes. See, and it's got a skewer through it, too. Minnesota United. And then this one is Chatterton FC. I'm torn because, like, depending on the day, right? I'd wake up and I would eat the hell out of these unicorn pancakes, right? Take out the egg and you're okay. Okay. All right. But see, okay, here's the thing, right? There's only so much we can do, right? Like, yeah, like I probably have to time out Glenn for 10 seconds, right? He doesn't like eggs, you know? You can come back in 10 seconds, Glenn, when you've thought about what you've done, right? That's all I'm saying. Right? Now, eggs are in everything, Glenn. You know, pancakes have eggs in them. You know what I'm saying? I'm just putting it out there. You know, I mean, this could go either way. I'm 50-50, right? Like, if I'm just eating regular food, like, you know, I would probably go for this, right? But on special occasion, the unicorn pancakes, you know, it might be a good day. All right, we're gonna go for the breakfast stack. Okay. I'm tweaking my head here. All right, so we've got a fried chicken burger. That is the darkest, greasiest looking chicken burger I've ever seen. Like, if you told me that was beef, I would believe you. But, like, you can see that it's breaded, but it's like the dirtiest fucking grease you've ever seen, right? Like that's a colonoscopy waiting to happen. Do you know what I mean? Like, that is, whew, that's something. Yeah, right? Like, I thought it was a burger too. And then we slide over here to this pastel de carne, this meat pastry. And you know what it kind of looks like? It almost looks like a big wonton, right? Like, look, it's like fried, right? Like, it almost looks like a big wonton to me. And to me, that would be more appealing. Like, if I just had like a giant meat-filled wonton, I could like dip it at something while I was like, you know, watching a game or something. That'd be all right. Yeah, right. Like, it's a backdoor Butterfinger. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what you got to do, right? Yeah. See, Mark gets it. Mark knows what's up. He's like the pastry. He wants the pastry all day. You know, and I feel it. It's, you know, damn. All right. Some people are men, some people are women. News at 11. This is true. Listen, Alex, this is so true. There are no women on the internet. It's dead internet theory. There's like fakes, you know, people pretending. Damn, we went low here. We lost. People chose that terrible looking burger. Man. Okay, so we got this chicken katsu curry box right here, Hull City, $7.50. And now we've got this, like, it's fries, it's beans, and sausage. Like, no, this is not a good day, right? Like, this is not how, like, even though the photo of this chicken katsu is terrible, at least I know what chicken katsu is, and I can see the little green onions and stuff there, right? Like, and I can see some sesame seeds and stuff put on there. Like, even though this picture paints a sad, sad story, this sausage bean fry thing, like, that sounds like a day in the bathroom. That doesn't even sound like the rest of your day happens, right? Because you're so busy dropping the kids off at the pool that you can't even see the sunlight for at least 24 hours. That's all I'm saying. Do you know what I mean? Like, unreal. All right, listen, I'm going 40. 77%. God damn. See? Look. Woo. Okay. We have Donner meat and chips. I mean, this looks like a hate crime. This looks like somebody like threw down a tarp. And like this is like a clean room. This is what happened in what was originally a clean room, right? And they're about to wrap this body up and take it out and leave no trace. Do you know what I'm saying? Like that's what I'm talking about. This is the real unfortunate part of everything, you know? And like, to me, this Donner meat and chips, this is like the unknown, right? Like, I don't even see fries under here, right? And it's like, it looks like there's kind of like, you know, there's some green onions, some little like carrot bits. You know, we got this, I'm going to assume this is like a ranch sauce, you know? That's a... Donner meat is greasy lamb from a spit. Okay. That's exact. Listen, Sumo. Are you not entertained? That's why Scrandle's a thing. Richard, yeah, it's Donner party meat. Holy shit. Everybody on the mountain. This is what happened. Like over here, the burger is what happened to everybody in the Donner party. That's true. That's facts. All right, we're going. Because see, it's not like if the word said donair, I'd be like, okay, cool. You know. Mark is out. He's not having the lamb. Henry's like, on the other hand, the one on the left looks like a bowl of dog crap covered in fabric. Listen, you know what I'm saying? This is true. Okay, here's what's happening. Here's what's happening now. We got a pig in a blanket hot dog. Okay, so on first glance, in just initial inspection, this hot dog has crispy onions on top of this wrapped hot dog. Like there's bacon wrapped around this hot dog. And if my eyes don't deceive me, is that like a jam? Is that like some kind of sweet sauce on this hot dog? Like this looks like a winner. This pig in a blanket hot dog looks like a winner, like right from the jump, right? Like that's what I'm talking about right here. Like I'm looking over at this sad piece of bread with some onions on it. It's bread, lard, paprika, and raw onion for $1. Like you should be paying me to eat fucking bread, lard, paprika, and a raw onion, right? Like no. Like I'm with the pig in a blanket all day. Like this to me is sad hobo food. And like if I was a hobo, I would protest. Do you know what I mean? Like if I was living my life on the back of a train with my, trusty neckerchief, and just riding the rails. Like I'm not eating this. I'm taking like side trips to get these kind of hot dogs. Like this is good shit right here. Like I would eat the hell out of that. Listen. This is Budapest. This is Budapest 2022. This is Cardiff City. The people in Cardiff are fucking living high on the hog. Pun intended. Do you know what I mean? These poor third worlders are eating lard on bread with fucking paprika and onions. Right? Like there's not even some protein here to sustain you. Right? Like, you know what I mean? Like these people have like noodle arms. Do you know what I'm saying? Like there's no way in hell that they can even think hard enough to even draw a picture, let alone lift up the pencil. Do you know what I'm saying? But these people in Cardiff City are fucking eating these delicious hot dogs all fucking day. Do you know what I mean? That's what I'm talking about. We're 100% going with the hot dog. Exactly. No wonder they're hungry. Okay. We've got a macaroni pie with a suggestive ketchup swirl, right? It's giving me balls and pee energy. You know, not big pee energy, but it's giving me balls and pee energy. You know what I mean? And then over here, we've got this cheeseburger and chips. And like I'm saying to myself, as sad as this cheeseburger and chips looks, I think I would take it over the, maca pee pie, right? And it's twice as much, right? And so I'm getting this little tiny pee pie, or I'm getting cheeseburger and chips, right? Like this is the real question. These are the things you got to ask yourself. And both of these people are hooligans, right? They're at a soccer game. They're soccer hooligans. And like if you're gonna get in a giant soccer hooligan brawl, right? Do you want these fries and this burger to power your chaotic, rage? Do you want to flip a car after you've eaten macaroni pie or cheeseburger and chips? Right? This is the reality. Right? The reality is this powdered bun is going to get you way further than this PP pie. Do you know what I mean? Without a doubt. Yeah, it's like you need that meat. Like, and there's not even like chicken or bacon or anything in this macaroni pie, right? Like, it just looks like a sad little pie with macaroni and cheese in it, and then this little PP energy ketchup. Like, yeah, it's all day. It's all day for this. All day for this. Yeah. Oh, okay. Like, just my eyes, this steak and chips, this immediately looks way more appealing. Look at this thinly sliced beef. We got all this. Was it thyme? What do we got on there? Steak and chips or pies, mashed peas and gravy. Right? Like, I'd pay $11 for this all day. Right? Yeah, like, right, like it's a steak. Like, listen, Glenn, I understand it. I understand your people are hardy and they enjoy tradition, but like, we have to understand that right here, right now, there's no other place that I'd want to be. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. I'm going to assume it's some kind of like, minced with a D meat pie. I'm going to assume that it's like, like a minced, like beef pie, and then you're getting that gravy and you're getting these peas. I think that's way too much peas, right? Like, give me half that, maybe less, Yeah, it's 100%. It's 100% the steak, like all day. Okay. We've got a buttermilk chicken. And this is it. Okay. This picture, because Australia, right? It says Melbourne City. So because Australia isn't real, right? We get this, what cannot be confirmed as a real photo. This could be buttermilk chicken. This could be a mirage, right? Like, we don't know. This could be AI. We don't know what this is. Like, those guys, like that guy right there, that could be Blade right here. That could be Blade. And like, this is like all the dead vampires in his wake, right? And all these other people are looking, and like right here, that's an octopus. I don't care what anybody says, right? Like, none of this is real. There's a large octopus in the background. And what am I supposed to do about that? You know what I mean? And then over here, in this question mark, now this looks like a shaved beef. You know what I mean? This bun, this bun looks kind of like croissant-esque. It looks like a flaky bun. And it's half the price. It's half price. Like, this buttermilk chicken, maybe that's a ranch sauce, maybe that's a barbecue sauce. I'm not sure. And then this octopus thing that's looking at me is, it's turned me off. And then Blade here. I don't know. He's giving me the wrong vibe. I'm going with the mystery meat, and I think it would be better for all of us. Do you know what I mean? Like, just the color, and then this way we deny that Australia is a real place, right? It's the only option we have. I'm pretty sure. Look, see, let's do it. That had color. Why did that suddenly get colorful? What is this game? Why is part of the factor in deciding what's happening, they're editing the photos. That was a nice photo at the end. What happened there? Why are they trying to, what did I do to get deceived in this manner by this photography? That's the real question. Why is this against me? Okay. This Wigan kebab. This is the saddest looking thing I've ever seen in my entire life. It looks like you're trying to sneak one of those disgusting little pies in between two pieces of plain bread. Do you know what I'm saying? It's pie and gravy in a roll. Why wouldn't I dip the roll in the pie and gravy? Why? Like, why are we doing this? Like, I don't get it. I don't get it. Like, I just, like, do you know what I mean? Like, the West is the ultimate culture because we don't do things like this. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, this here, right here, this, look, we got this, like, hot dog, loaded fries, and a beer. Now, this price is fucking wild. $32.50? Like, okay, say that's pounds, right? That's like $60. That's like $60. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's crazy. Like, if we're currency converting on the fly, that's a ridiculous amount of money for a 24-ounce Coors Light. Ugh, fucking Coors Light. Loaded fries, and like, is that gravy or is that like a Mexican style loaded fries, right? Like, are we getting like a chili cheese fry there? You know? And then like the onions and stuff. It's a loaded hot dog, fries, and beer all day, right? Because this abomination, this Wigan kebab, there's nothing sadder than this. Like, I don't think I've seen anything this sad in my entire life. Like, yeah, that is like third world hobo food, right? Like, I'm sorry, Glenn. You think it's curry fries, Dale? Okay. Well, listen, the price is crazy. Like, the price is crazy. I'm going here all day. People pick that over 51%. What? Okay. All right, Glenn, you're going to have to help us on this one. There's a steak and black pudding pie right here, right? You've never seen Wigan food. Damn. Glenn doth protest too much. Okay, so we're here. Steak and black pudding pie. Explain to me black pudding. Do you know what I mean? Other than the racial component, why do you dislike this black pudding so much? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, what is in it? What is it doing? What is black pudding doing that 13% of the population in puddings are not doing? Do you know what I'm saying? Okay, listen, man, there is a strong distaste for this black pudding. I like it. I like it a lot. Okay, so we're over here. We got this chicken burger. We got 2 slices of cheese on this chicken burger, bacon, onions. Possible either fried cheese or hash brown situation on this chicken burger. Right? Pretty sure black pudding is blood pudding. Oh, okay. Okay, I know what blood pudding is. All right, okay, cool. Okay, and then we got these dirty fries. Now, where I come from, this looks like a pulled pork poutine. Do you know what I'm saying? These aren't dirty fries. This is pulled pork poutine. That's all I'm saying. You know, that's all I'm saying. So it's pretty unanimous. It's pretty unanimous that it's the chicken burger. It's the chicken burger. All right, we're going all in on the chicken. Yeah, 88%. All right. Okay, so chips and black olives versus a teriyaki chicken bowl. Like, I'm immediately lusting after this teriyaki chicken, right? Like, you know, even if this chicken looks a little dry, right? The teriyaki, the sweetness of the teriyaki can save it. right? But then if you just got chips and black olives, you're just eating this bitter thing with these chips the whole time, like that, and you got to live with that taste of black olives all day. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah, like teriyaki. Like, listen, I'm less than over the teriyaki chicken bowl, right? Like, I would call it again. Like, I would take it out for, you know, a nice steak dinner, and I would call it again. Do you know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. I would definitely be there for it, you know, the next day. That's all I'm saying. But the chips and black olives, no way. Like, and I would gladly pay 3 times the price, like, all day. Yeah, there's no contest there. Oh my God. Okay. This is my favorite thing of the night. Contents, pickle. Right? So you're just getting a big bag of wet pickle. Do you know what I'm saying? You're just getting a big bag of wet pickle. All day, every day. And then, okay, so we see that the man or woman has sat down, and they do have condiments here. They have mustard. You know, they're going to eat this bratwurst with a big pickle, right? They're going to get it. You know what I'm saying? And then over here, we've got like this cheesy pretzel. I don't know what these, like, nuts. Is this like little, like, nuts of some kind? Little shaved nuts of some kind? And melted cheese, obviously. Like, melted cheese looks good. Like, the only thing that's throwing me off about this pretzel are all these, like, little accoutrements that's outside of the cheese realm. The cheese realm and the pretzel excite me. Like, but this is, you know, this is what's discombobulating, you know, disconcerting even, you know. This is what's dissing me emotionally, you know. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, right? Like, listen, Henry, I'm with you all day. Bratwurst, big pickle energy, you know, Big Willie style. I'm with it all day. Yeah, that's all I can do. You know? Yeah, you gotta take care of yourself. So, boom, my career, dead. Accept consequences. I do. You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying. So, we're in here, okay, do we do another one? Or do we move on to something else? Do you know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. You know, do we hit this? This is a game, Sumo. It's like life. You're playing the game. You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying. All right, I'll end it. I'll end it. We'll whip back here. We'll get me. You know. Yeah. Okay. We'll move on. You know. I just figured we would like to come in. We'd like to see something different. You know. Everybody's out here. You know. They're doing all this stuff, and I said to myself, we need some scrandal in our lives. You know what I mean? Do they have one with only desserts? I don't know. I don't know how they set it up. I don't know what the, how can I say, like, because there's yellow cards, there's a whole bunch of things in this, right? But like the daily scrandal just does random stuff. It's like sausage and pie mash, you know what I mean? You know, and it's that kind of thing, right? Well, see, that's where you're wrong. That's where you're wrong, Alex. We did it twice. By the time you came in, we were on our second scrandal. Do you know what I'm saying? And so by the time you came here, we were already one scrandaled in. That's all. You know, that's all I'm saying. So, all right, we're gonna move on from scrandal. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. Yeah, exactly. Listen, I'm here to give you what you didn't know you want. How are there no murders? This is a question I ask myself every day. Do you know what I mean? Like, why weren't there any murders? Like, who is responsible for this lack of murder? You know what I mean? Yeah, you know, Scrandle J or Crow J. Yeah, exactly. You know, it's one of those things. It's one of those things. That's how we have to roll. You know what I mean? That's all. That's all there is to it. But yeah, you know, I don't know. That's it. Like, I mean, I could do a sketch cover. I could play a game, or I could end the stream and leave everyone wanting more. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? That's where that's where I have myself wondering, right? Like that's where I'm flipping between it, right? Like, you know, because who knows what could go on, what could go wrong? Who knows about this mouse pad that I randomly got from an order that I didn't even order? They just threw it in to be nice, you know. That's just how it is. Probably you're usually the cause of. I mean, the cause of the lack of murder, or the murder's not happening, but people want to murder. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. You know, this is just how it is. You know. You know. That's just how it goes. But yeah, I don't know. I didn't have any plans aside from Scrandle. You know, I could do some art. You know, who knows what these streams are called? Who knows what the meaning of the word is when you say art? This could be art. Do you know what I mean? Let's be performance art. Could be food art. You know what I mean? That's just all there is to it. And so, you know, a lot of times I sit here and I ask myself, you know, what really is art? You know, that's the real question. It's a question I want to ask myself. Yeah. It's true. It's true. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. It's one of those bizarre and odd situations where, like, I'm just going to sit here and I'm going to drink this. And, you know, when you say art, I think Terry Moore. This is true. You know what I'm saying? That's true. He's got new videos. You know. Well, it's Mario Day. That's true. That's true. I could set it up, and there could be some Mario Kart action. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it don't matter to me. I can do that. We're gonna live hot swap then into a Mario Kart stream, and okay, let's do that. All right. Did I hear they have a new patch for Saru? Supposedly it arrives a new expensive. What is you retain the optical drive and MPEG card compatibility? Oh, really? Yep. No, it is. It is pretty interesting, like, to see, like, a lot of, like, the upgrades and stuff like that for a lot of that retro stuff, right? Because, like, as a guy, you know, who loves his physical Saturn media, I would prefer, like, I think there is a point where I would have a second Saturn that was, like, fully modded to that, you know, just didn't have the disk drive and you could just put the Saru thing in it, and, you know, have the loaders and all that stuff, and just never put a disc in it, because then you could put, like, the translated and patched games together, things like that, right? And then you wouldn't be, you know, having to, like, import stuff or whatever, right? There's bonuses for that. Yeah, I know about the Saru Kart thing, right? But I'm just saying for, like, the ones where you would get rid of the optical drive and have the Saru, so that you could literally just blast it full of everything, right? Like, because, like, yeah, that's the thing. Like, I would rather have, like, this crazy modded one, because, like, my other Saturn's right there, and so I have multiple Dreamcasts, and so I've often thought about, you know, modding some of these Dreamcasts. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've often said to myself, hey, maybe I should go hog wild and just mod the hell out of one of these, right? Whether it's to remove the drive or do the HDMI or any of that stuff, right? All right, so if I'm going to do this game thing, then that means... Oh, Jesus Christ. I don't know. It's got to be in the $40,000 to $50,000 range. Easily. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I have games that if I went to go like replace them, it would be $2,000 or $3,000 just to replace the single game, right? Just because they're so rare, they're so uncommon. Games that, like, when you go looking on eBay, you're lucky to find one copy. If you're lucky, and that's the thing. Like, games are weird because, like, something like Chrono Trigger, where there are millions of copies available, like that was a popular game, right? They're all over the place, and they have really high perceived value, right? Because there's nostalgia behind them. But then I have games that there are literally, I don't know, somewhere between 1,000 and 2,000 copies known to be in print, and they're not as pricey, right? Like, where you can just be out on the street, see it, pick it up for $15 or $20 or whatever, and it's way more uncommon, way more rare than a copy of Chrono Trigger. But because there's so much nostalgia behind Chrono Trigger, it is perceived as a rare and expensive game, right? Alex. Fucking hell. What are you talking about? Hold on. Give me. Okay. First, Alex. Panzer Dragoon Mini, complete in box. Right? Like, just go even try to find that. Go even find a copy of Panzer Dragoon Mini. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, let's not front. Let's not front here. And then, as I roll down here. Yeah, we got Panzer Dragoon 1. Got Panzer Dragoon 2, and these are like minty copies. These are my copies from the jump. Right? These are my copies from the jump, right? And then you sweet summer child. Panzer Dragoon Saga. Oh, look at it. Look at it. Just right here. Just I just want to that's all there is to it. And then I can probably look over here, right? Here we go. And then I reach down here, and then I grab my copy of Panzer Dragoon Orta for the original Xbox, right? That's how we roll. And then hold on. And then I grab. Don't fall. Stay there. And then I grab my physical copy of Panzer Dragoon for the Switch with the classic Saturn case. Do you know what I'm saying? This is what I'm saying. I'm just saying that, like, don't come to me with questions about Panzer Dragoon. That's all I'm saying. I'm just throwing it out there. I'm just saying, I'm rolling in these streets with the Panzer Dragoon. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was such a big fan of that series from the jump. I couldn't not own them. Right? Exactly. Don't come. You know what I mean? that's just the reality of it. That's all I'm saying. You know, and I do have plans. Like I'm actually going to. I actually should do this right now while I'm thinking of it. Open this in a new tab, and then papa. Okay, so my old channel. I'm gonna copy pasta. I'm going to bring this channel back from the dead. That's my Bullet Ninja Hagelman channel. I haven't posted on that channel for 6 years, but I'm going to start posting more like content to that channel, right? Just straight up because like I want to do game stuff, but I don't really want to do it on this channel, right? So, you know, if you have any interest in what I'm doing, and it'll be everything from like, you know, VOD uploads to live streams and stuff like that for gaming stuff, I'm going to do it. There's going to be a ton of content on that channel coming up. And, yeah, I'm working on editing and doing a bunch of stuff for that as it is. And so, yeah, that's the thing. Like, so if you want to see me do random goofy shit and play games and do whatever, that's where all that stuff is going to be. And then all the art and design work and like, you know, art book stuff and all that kind of stuff, those kind of streams are going to be here, right? For the most part, unless I feel that there's something uniquely art-centric and focused that I want to talk about as far as the games are concerned, I'll still do some of that stuff here. Like I've done some other game videos and things that way. But for the most part, everything, and maybe even some anime and whatever might happen on that channel. I don't think I'm going to make a separate channel for that. But, you know, that might be kind of like my, you know, culture channel, my pop culture-y type thing. Yeah. And so, yeah, like, and that's the thing, right? Like, and like, well, and that's the thing too, like this isn't even counting it because I don't even have it up here yet. It's currently down in my kitchen, but I have like a Neo Geo arcade 4-slot MVS cab in my kitchen. And I have a collection of those games as well, right? And so I plan on bringing that up here, but it's kind of like out of the way right now. So I do have to get that up here because I do plan on doing a lot more gaming stuff, you know, just in general. Yeah, Panzer Dragoon Mini is even, I would say it's far rarer a game than Panzer Dragoon like Saga, right? Like you're going to be lucky to find a copy of Panzer Dragoon Mini. It's interesting. There are a few Saturn games that are pretty expensive. And then there was stuff like, for a while, like House of the Dead was going for $1,000 for a hot minute there. There was a few Saturn games that were getting pretty crazy. And there were a few Japanese exclusive games that have such tiny print runs and were so small that you would see those games go for $2,000 easily. You know, yeah. Oh, yeah. The thing is, Glenn, is that there's shelves here, and there's shelves on the other side of this shelf, and like the room keeps going way over past that Jet Set Radio skill slot machine that's back there, right? So the room keeps going over that way. The room is actually pretty big, but it's kind of like, you know, so meant to be focused, and like you know what I mean? Like I can put it kind of over a bit, but like, you know, my traditional drawing desk and everything is right here, right? Like, you know, the whole kind of thing. So that's the thing. Like the room is actually much bigger than it appears, just due to the way things are laid out, you know. But that's intentional. It's intentionally kind of meant to keep this space, you know. But yeah, You know, it's one of those things. And there was never an English version of that Panzer Dragoon Mini, so it is only over there in Japanese territories. And so it wasn't something that came out in Europe, because that's the thing too. Like a lot of Master System games and Game Gear games got releases in Europe that never got released over here, but that were also in Japan. But all of it's compatible. Like Master System stuff just slots right in, like universally, and it all runs at 60 hertz and stuff like that, which is really cool. So if you're importing games or a PAL person, you can kind of do a lot with that stuff, right? Brazil was holding on to the Master System like way longer than like any other place, right? And so even to the extent that like Sega like made their own Ninja Gaiden for it, which I have. Headhunter for Dreamcast, and then Headhunter 2. Well, and that's the thing, right? Like the kind of funny thing about this is like these shelves are like Xbox 360, Xbox One Series X, original Xbox, Switch, there's Sega Saturn stuff up there, and then on the other side it's like PS1, PS2, PS3, PS4, PS5, Wii U, DS, Dreamcast, what else over there? Like all my animes over there, all my novels are on the other side, like, you know, statues, you know, I'm still get stuff in boxes. I'm still unpacking stuff and still organizing, you know, the whole thing, right? And so that's just the way it is, right? Like your collection is pretty big over time, right? Like, and the interesting thing for me is I'm not a, you know, like in the comic book world, like people who collect like key issues and stuff like that. I'm not a key collector. I'm a collector of games I'm actually interested in and want to play, right? So if I own it, and a lot of times, like, you know, when games got rare, like Outrun 2 and Outrun 2 Coast to Coast, that had this big surge in price, right? Because the Xbox version played better than the PS2 version and all that kind of stuff, right? So that Xbox version got really expensive, like $300-400, right? And a lot of people are like, "Oh, do you have that game?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah," like because I bought it back then because I was always a Sega fan and I was always playing. Yeah, oh yeah, I got GameCube as well. You know, it's weird. Like my collection, like I have Super Nintendo games, I have Genesis games, I have Sega Master System stuff, but I don't. It's weird. Like I don't have a giant original Nintendo collection, right? Like I have, like maybe it's here somewhere. I don't know where I put it, but I pulled it out on a different stream. Like I have like Godzilla on the original Nintendo, right? You know, like I have the Godzilla. Wait, you know, the Godzilla games for like Xbox and Wii and PS4. You know, Dreamcast. I have both the Godzilla games for that, right? Hey, Pencil, what's going on? And was it the Whiter Rabbit UK? Hey, what's going on, guys? Yeah, like it's like as far as collecting and as far as doing all that stuff, it's like I own, like, you know what I mean? Like I'm not gonna rush out because there's some really crappy games that either had low print runs or are worth money, and I can just, if I want to see what the game is, I can just emulate it, right? Like I don't have to spend, like, you know what I mean? Like you don't have to have a collection these days, right? You could just emulate everything. You could just, you know, get flash carts or whatever, right? Like you could have every N64 game you want on a cart, right? And you could just play them at your leisure and do whatever. But like, as a guy who likes to collect, you know, certain N64 games, I'm going to pick up Penny Racers. I'm going to pick up, the Japanese wrestling games, stuff like that, right? And so that's kind of the thing where I would rather pick up cool stuff because I'm interested in it. And if it happens to be a little bit pricier, I'm probably still going to pick it up. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, like, and that's the thing. Like, the Genesis is really good. There's a lot of great Genesis games, right? And like Saturn stuff, like, and like, like I have Deep Fear, right? Like, on the Genesis, like, and this game's all voiced in English and stuff like that. Like, there's just like a ton of stuff like that where the games never came out here, but they were already in English. There's a bunch of PS1 action adventure games that you could pick up and play as long as you have the means to play them. Like, I've got like a Japanese PS2. I can play all these imports, like, like I had running on the Sumo stream. Like, I had these Sumo games running on in the background on the Sumo stream that we did the other night, right? And it's just like that kind of thing where I'm just legitimately like interested in those different genres. And a lot of times I wish I was more focused, like as a collector, but like I just actually like to play and try different things. So, it's really interesting, just because sometimes you'll play a game that you never even heard of, and it's like, you're like, why have I never played this? This is so good, Yeah, no, I have like the GameCube, like Rogue Squadron and Rebel Assault, and I actually really love where's it at? The KOTOR games, Knights of the Old Republic 1 and 2. Big fan of that, and the Stormtroopers game, the Rogue Troopers one. That one's really good. All that stuff. Yeah, big fan of all that stuff. And that's the thing. Like, I probably like Star Wars video games way more than I like Star Wars itself as a property, like of movies and TV and stuff like that. And so, yeah, that to me is like because a lot of times the games live up to the potential of what Star Wars could be far more than Star Wars as a movie, right? And so, like, that's like, because, like, I mean, inherently, right? Like, this is my rant about Star Wars. Like, inherently, when I say to you, okay, there are like laser swords and space kung fu. Yeah, Republic Commando, that's it. Republic Commando. Yeah, that game's great. I have it on Xbox, I have it on PC, everything like that. Like, I bought that game in multiple formats. But whenever you say, oh, you got like, these kung fu space monks, and then you got these like dark samurai that work for the Empire, and like, everybody's got these force powers, and it's like all this stuff, right? Like, it sounds super cool, and then you get in there and it's just less than. Do you know what I mean? And like, I still hold true to that. Like, I really believe that most people like the idea of Star Wars and what it kind of represents to their imagination than what Star Wars actually is, right? And so, like, for me, I'm just kind of like, man, if Star Wars, and some of the books actually, like the Thrawn trilogy and all that kind of stuff, like, some of those books were actually, like, and I read some of that stuff, right? Like, I'm not like, it's weird, like, I'm not a hater on things for no reason, right? Like, I actually, like, if people are talking and going on about how great something is, I will tend to go and take a look at it, right? To see why people like it. Like, I try to understand where people are coming from culturally, right? Like, as far as the zeitgeist of Star Wars in, genre culture, right? And so, yeah, I will take a look at that stuff. And because, like, when I was growing up, it was kind of one of those things where, like, Star Wars was kind of like my brother's thing. And when I was growing up, Star Wars was there, but I was like a G.I. Joe Transformers kid, right? And so you're more influenced by those things culturally than I would have ever been by Star Wars, right? But the fact that like Star Wars is so pervasive, you kind of have to go and look at it, right? You have to go and look at it, especially like, and here's the thing too, right? If I wasn't a artist and creator and I was just a consumer of product, enjoy more product, I wouldn't care. Excuse me. I wouldn't care about Star Wars at all, right? I would just move on. But as an artist and a writer and a creator, I want to understand what people like about Star Wars inherently, right? And I want to know why it's so strong with people and why, as people have come up, it's kind of like Pokemon. Like Pokemon is the forever kid game, right? And new people are always coming into Pokemon because Pokemon appeals to kids. But Pokemon is just a derivative of Dragon Quest, right? Like Pokemon does not exist if Dragon Quest doesn't exist, right? Like it's just one of those things. Like, it's just true. It's kind of like saying like, Green Lantern, Star Wars, all of this sci-fi doesn't exist without Lensman, right? And so there's always something, right, that ignites the flame that keeps everyone moving forward. And so that's the thing that like interests me about that kind of pop culture stuff. Is like, here's the thing that influences it, or it's like The Shadow. A lot of people don't really know who or what The Shadow is, right? But everybody knows who Batman is. But Batman doesn't exist without Bob Kane plagiarizing shot for shot, panel for panel Shadow comics, right? And so you don't get one without the other, right? But yet no one knows the genesis. No one knows where everything's birthed from, right? And so to me, that's the interesting thing, right? Like, it's like what made Batman catch on and still catch on, but then no one knows who the Shadow is, right? So Pulp, and people are all like, oh, the Shadow's really cool. And, but like 99.999% of all Batman fans don't know who the Shadow is, right? Like it's like that 1% that have kind of looked into it and went, oh man, like this is where Batman comes from. But like the average reader just doesn't fucking know. Toriyama is great. I'm a huge Akira Toriyama fan. Everything from like his work on Dragon Quest, like I picked up a lot. Square Enix has started putting out the Dragon Quest mangas here. And so like I've been stoked. Like some of these came out like 30 years ago, and they're actually publishing a lot of these Dragon Quest mangas here, which is amazing. And same with like City Hunter and Cat's Eye, and just like a ton of this stuff is finally getting English releases, and it's very good. It's very, very good to see, official releases. Like, I'm sure you could have read a lot of it like on the Scanlation sites and things like that. But there's nothing like actually having it, genuinely printed in your hand officially from the source, the publisher, right? And yeah, like I'm a big fan of that. Big fan of that stuff finally getting American eyes, North American eyes on it. It's a good thing. It's a good thing. But yeah, I don't know what to tell you. It's just how it be do. You made some people mad because you like to shart on evergreen characters. Well, like, here's the thing, though, right? Like, it's one of those things. It's kind of like the whole, like, SJW. It's like the whole like, what I call the last, like, since about 2013 to about 2022, 2023, you had about a good 10-ish year run where all the comics were basically hijacked by, leftists, right? And so you had all these people worm their way into positions where they could write Batman and Superman and Spider-Man and all that kind of stuff, right? And I've often and long considered it the stolen age of comics, right? Like, we literally have this age where you literally had them put characters in there and saying, like, be gay, do crimes, like in superhero books, right? And you couldn't tell half the time whether a character was the hero or the villain in their own book, right? Like, that's the crazy part, right? And so I'm left wondering, you know, long term, how do people look at that decade of comics, right? And like, I've personally just decided to call it the stolen age of comic books, right? And you know, and here's the other thing too. Speaking of Toriyama, I actually picked up that Sandland game for PS5, and I plan on streaming that as well at some point too, right? Yeah, because like Toriyama, like as far as, you know, his impact, like Blue Dragon, incredible, you know, all that stuff, right? Yeah, like it's very, I don't know, it's very interesting, like the culture, and I mean, you can see, like, and I think you get to that 2013 to 2023-ish time because most of us, like the vast majority of us, are very live and let live, right? Like, as long as you're not hurting anybody other than yourself, do your thing, man. It's cool, right? Like, you know, but then when things like kept getting pushed, and if you weren't using someone's proper pronoun, you were a monster. If you didn't agree with, you know, drag queens reading to children in libraries, like, if, like, you know what I mean? And at some point, all the people who were live and let live got bent until they broke, right? And so we're now in this time where there's a counter overcorrection to going back to how things were pre, you know, mid aughts, right? Mid 2000s. Like, you know, from that 2010 to 2023-ish area, right? Where you're in that thing where everybody was just kind of like, hey, things are cool, man. Like, don't worry about it. Like, you know, these people want to do this. It's all right, you know. But I think that we were part of our own folly in that we actually were so live and let live that we basically just allowed things to happen that should never have happened, right? Yeah, exactly, right? Like, exactly, Scamps. Like, because, like, here's the thing, right? Like, I'm not telling them how to live, right? Like, I'm just like, hey, if you want to do your thing, that's cool. But, like, the thing that's crazy is, like, you know, pre that time, I was very left of center, right? And as an artist, you're typically left of center naturally, right? Like where old left of center used to be, right? Your freedom of speech, your, you know, freedom of art, freedom of choice, all that kind of stuff, right? You're very live and let live, right? Like you're okay with a lot of that stuff, but you're also like, hey, art is art and people should be able to say what they want and all that kind of stuff, right? And like, and it's also the thing is too, right? Like freedom of speech does not mean freedom from consequences, right? So I can say whatever I want, but if I say it to the wrong person and they decide to smack me upside the head, I probably earned it. Do you know what I mean? But now, where everyone is so butthurt all the time and so offended over everything and every little microaggressions and all this and fucking nonsense, right? Like, it's so crazy, right? And so me being left of center and just being like this normal kind of take on everything, we all got pushed to the right. Just not even by changing. Like, we didn't even like, we stayed exactly the same. But then we just immediately, because everybody that was left of us got so crazy that even us just saying like freedom of speech is important, we got pushed to the right. Like we just got, it just, the thing kept pushing, right? And so even though none of us have changed, you know, the way certain people looked at us changed. But yeah, we didn't do anything different. We got up in the morning and we had our coffee the same as we did 10 years ago, and we thought the same things we did 10 years ago, right? And so, like, that's the interesting part about it. And, like, my thing is like, I don't care if you have gay superhero comics, right? But make your own characters, right? And that's where I call it the stolen thing. Like, they went and hijacked characters like Iceman, like Spider-Man, like, you know, all the Mary Jane, like all this stuff. They went DC, you know, they went in like Alan Scott. They went in and hijacked all these characters and basically put a skin suit on and was like, oh, Alan Scott's gay, even though canonically he's got a wife and kids and, you know, all this stuff. And he's never once shown any kind of, you know, sexual variation in his tendencies, right? And same thing with Bobby and all that stuff, right? Just simple things like that. It's like, I don't care. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and here's my thing, right? Here is my thing. If you want to make these characters, don't hit me bang, bang, bang over the head with it. Right? Like the perfect way to do this is you have a cool character. You introduce him. You know, he's fighting crime. He's out on the streets. He's, you know, working his ass off to be a hero. Right? And then you start cutting to a coffee cup. Right? Like, this is storytelling. This is how it should be done. You cut to a coffee cup. You know, then you cut to another coffee cup. You cut to another coffee cup. And this guy's out there fighting crime the whole time. He's fighting crime. He's getting his ass kicked. But he's still fighting for justice. He's still doing things. And you start feeling for that character. You start appreciating that character's fight and what they're trying to do. Right? And then when he eventually comes home, his husband is sitting at the table waiting for him, drinking the coffee. Right? Like, and worried about him. Right? Like, you can tell stories where you go, oh, you know, say, you know, we'll say, I don't know what, we'll make up Brawler Man. Brawler Man comes home after fighting crime, all like for 24 hours, comes home 5 a.m, you know, just took down some kind of like mafia, you know, where they were shipping drugs into the thing, comes home battered and bruised, and his husband is waiting there for him, right? And you can tell genuinely good stories without constantly bashing people over the head with all this politics and agenda stuff, right? You can legitimately just tell good stories, and you don't have to point out that the character is gay. You don't have to point out. It's just obvious. And you just move on from it, right? You don't have to bang people over the head with it. You don't have to politicize it, and you don't have to preach to people about it. You can just tell legitimately good stories and get it done. I like telling, yeah. Well, and here's the thing, right? Like, the whole thing with Wolverine and Cyclops and all that stuff. Like, I consider all that shit fan fiction, right? Like, that this whole last 10 years of comics doesn't exist to me. It's not going to be worth anything, and nobody is going to be talking about it 10 years from now, 20, nobody's going to be talking about the 70s and 80s and 90s and like early 2000s and stuff like that. The way people, like, you know, like the way people talk about those eras, no one's going to talk about 2013 to 2023 like any of those eras. There is not going to be people fondly remembering them. There's not going to be people like curating collections based on it. They're not going to be telling people how good the stories were. Like, there are no Dark Knights. There are no Green Lantern Rebirth. There are no huge, like, there's no Watchmen. There's no, you know, like whatever, like, you know, the Danger Girl, Battle Chasers. There's nothing Uncanny X-Men. There are none of those runs in that 2010 to 2023 era. You know? And so that's the thing, right? So we have this stolen almost void of a generation of comics that nobody's going to look back on fondly, right? I didn't lose anything. This is I don't know when the last time you watched A1, but this is a completely different office than I was in probably the last time you watched. Maybe not. I don't know. You know, or the camera angle's different. I don't know. I don't know which it is. But yeah, right? Like to me, that's kind of the sad part. Like, and I feel bad. Like, I actually legitimately feel bad for like the Bernard Changs of this world. You know, a lot of these guys who basically like grinded on books that no one's ever going to read. You know what I mean? Did you lose a wall or gain shells? Oh, yeah. You thought he said, did I lose weight? And both of those are true. You know what I mean? You know? But do you know what I mean? Like, so I feel sad for like this, essentially a generation of legitimately good, skilled craftsmen who were forced to work on books for the love of the game that no one's going to care about. Right? Like, and don't get me wrong, there's a ton of Tumblr artists and, you know, a ton of garbage artists that worked on Marvel and DC books in that mix as well. But like, yeah, I don't know, like these guys, these like guys who are grinding, you know, and hoping they were going to work on something good, right? Are basically footnotes in what is going to be oh yeah, there was like 10 years of comics that really sucked, you know? And that's unfortunate, right? Because a lot of these guys are better than that, and their time is worth more than that, you know. And it's sad. It's like it's sad that a lot of these guys got into it, and then you know got their foot in the door, and then here we are. Awesome One is saying also hello, Awesome One. If I didn't say hi already. Some children from a travel channel I watch were shopping with their dad and didn't care about the Nintendo store, but were hyped by the Studio Ghibli store. Oh, really? That's kind of cool. I mean, it kind of depends. Like, how old were these kids? That's the weird thing. Like, how old were these kids that they were stoked about Studio Ghibli and then not stoked about Nintendo? Interesting. That is interesting. Yeah. Five or six? Really? Weird. Why is this up? There we go. Too much age and too much AIDS. And I had to go. I was in top chat, not live chat. Scamps is saying too much AIDS and monkeypox in comics. Yeah, that's fair. Maybe 7. Interesting. And this was recent? I don't know. Well, here's the thing. Like, maybe, get with me here for a second, A1. Maybe their parents showed them, because Disney put out a lot of Studio Ghibli films here, right? And did the dubs with big actors, right? Like James Van Der Beek and all these different actors did voice work in a bunch of these, right? Well, see, there you go, Dale. Like, and here's the thing, right? Like Last Ronin, obviously there's going to be exceptions, right? There's exceptions to every rule, right? And so, yeah, so a few squeak past the goalpost, right? But like, yeah, like that 10 years to me is just rode off. I wish I could say that, like, you know, that it was a good time for comics or anything like that, or a bunch of really good stuff, you know, squeaked through. But like for the most part, like you might be able to be like, oh, okay, Turtles had a good one. Maybe Axe Wielder John. Maybe you know, I don't know. Maybe there was some, you know, X-Men run or some, I don't know, some obscure thing that was like, hey, this was actually a good run. Maybe Jason Aaron got in there and had, you know, did something good for a change. Something like that, right? Like, but like for the most part, like, and that's the thing, like, I follow comics. I'm into comics. And I don't hear, like, the entire time, because, like, I basically kind of jumped out of comics around 2013, and I never had any of my friends come at me and go, boy, you've got to read this. Right? Like nothing. And like, and admittedly, I picked up Last Ronin due to the hype. Right? I picked up certain things that, that came out because people were saying how good it was. And I'm like, okay, if everybody and their dog like is saying how good Last Ronin is, I better check it out. Right? Like I have to see if it's this good, then let me find out. You know what I'm saying? And so, but like, that's the thing. Like a lot of my friends that were hardcore comic collectors weren't saying, hey dude, you got to read this, right? Like about anything, and like even Absolute Batman, right? Like a lot of people like are losing their shit over Absolute Batman, right? But here's the thing. Absolute Batman cannot keep DC Comics afloat, right? They cannot pay, like, because basically, like, I guess the best way to look at it is like the rest of their line isn't enough of like, you can't make the rest of the line a loss leader if Batman's the only thing that's selling, right? And so, they're saying that like the Absolute Wonder Woman, Absolute Superman, and Absolute Batman have sold a combined total of about 8 million copies. And I'm like, and that's not just issue 1. That's not just whatever, right? That is all of them. Like Batman's up to issue 16. And so it's like, it sold a couple 100,000 in the first issue, whatever, right? But like you could take one single volume, like one single like $15 volume of like Demon Hunter or something like that, and it sells like 10 million, no problem, right? And I'm just like, so even as well as Absolute Batman is selling, which I would probably argue might be combined, issue 1 to 16 or 17, whatever it's at right now, might be like 3 or 4 million copies combined. That cannot sustain the comic book industry, right? Like, and even if Absolute Batman brings in new young readers, they're only reading Absolute Batman, right? They're not going to regular DC books. They're not going to DCKO. They're not going to read, Lobo or any of that stuff, right? And so at some point, DC's either got to go, okay, we only have 10 books. And that's where we put all our money and all our focus. And then we write them more in a manga style to go, oh, here's the arc, put it in a 300-page volume, sell it. Oh, here's the arc, 300-page volume, sell it. And keep going that way and build it up and then maybe branch titles off. But I don't think... Like if you go look at like the top books that are selling, right? Like over the last 10 years and more, there are Marvel and DC books that were selling sub 10,000 copies a month, right? And if you go back to like the 80s and 90s, if a book was selling under 100,000 copies a month, it was on the chopping block. And now it's okay for a book to sell like 5,000 a month. And it's a ongoing series that suddenly becomes a limited 6-issue series because no one's buying it, right? And so like that's kind of like my problem with the industry. It's not sustainable the way it currently is running right now, and so like, yeah, that's the problem that I have, like, kind of with mainstream right now. Like I feel like it's done itself a disservice for so long. Because, like, I mean, think about it. Like, 10 years is a long time to damage people's habit, right? Like, if you were going into the comic book store every Wednesday, and every time you went in and you picked up your books and they were garbage and they were pushing all this agenda stuff on you and whatever, eventually you're going to stop buying those books. If you're a reader, right? Like, if you're absolutely reading, then at some point... you're going to get burned out on that, right? You're going to stop doing it. And so, like, for me, like, I'm just like, so how do you get those people back, right? Like, I don't know. Again, I think it's a really hard job. Like, and like, I will say, like, I think the reason why like people like Noah and people in his age range like Absolute Batman is because it has no baggage, right? Like it's you can buy number 1 right now, you can read it, and you get the whole story as it is now, right? You don't need to know about all the villains. You don't need to know about the 60s or the 70s. You don't need to know about anything that came before it. You just need to know about that Batman, right? That the Absolute Batman. He's got a cool dump truck. He's got, you know, an axe for a bat symbol, yada, 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 right? And so I do think that is its strongest appeal. But, like, outside of that, how do you get more people to read comics, right? Like, you can't absolute everything, right? And you can't, like, you can't just keep walking. Like, at some point, right? Like, maybe we all die off, and, you know, by that time, you know, they go, oh, okay, Captain America is a completely different person now. You know, he flies a plane and has a sword and, you know, whatever, right? Like, you just completely turn it on its head, right? Alex says, right, but that begs the question, if it's all new and not tied to the old stuff, why not just make new characters? They're still leaning on the old. Well, that is okay. That is the exact problem I've had with the last 10 to 15 years, right? Is like, why not just make a new character? Why make, you know, Iceman gay? Why not make a new character and introduce him, you know, and be like, oh, this is Iceman's long lost brother who was fathered by Magneto and whatever. And then you just go, okay, cool. This guy, and then you can tie him into Iceman and have a spin-off series, have a big cool story, and then go spinning off from the adventures of Iceman is, you know, I don't know, Razzle Dazzle or whatever, right? And the new adventures of Razzle Dazzle. And, you know, his gay adventures or whatever, I don't know. But yeah, and that's the thing, and I agree, right? Like, it's way easier to ride the coattails of the characters that were built. Like, you know, you're standing on the shoulders of giants, right? The people who created these characters and made them something of note, right? And so when somebody like Scott Snyder comes in, or any of these other, you know, the Mags Visagios and all these other of the world come in and work on these books, and you're just like, this is garbage. But people are only buying it because it says X-Men on the cover, or it says, like, you know, Wolverine or whatever, right? And so they're trading on and giving you a bait and switch from the jump, right? And so it's a you know, house of lies, you know, false equivalencies, the whole bit. Sony or PlayStation even ask, what do you want us to reboot? Well, here's the problem with this, like, and this is the same problem, right? Like, Last of Us came out on PS3. So they remade Last of Us for PS4. Then they remade The Last of Us, they remade on PS4 for PS5, even though the PS5 is backwards compatible and can play PS4 games. So the remake wasn't even necessary. So they remade this game 3 times. Then they did that with Last of Us 2 and remade it for PS5. And, like, you know, and then, what was it? Ghost of Tsushima. It was a PS4 game. They remade it for PS5. Like, the Switch 2 has been out for less than a year, and it already has more exclusives from Nintendo than Sony has put out in 6 years. Do you know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying, right? Like, yeah. And like, oh, here's the thing. Speaking of Dino Crisis. You know, we can be Dreamcast Dino Crisising. You know what I'm saying? We could be Dreamcast Record of Lodos War. You know what I'm saying? We could be Dreamcast both Godzilla games that came out for the Dreamcast. You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying. That's just the reality of it. Yeah, Dino Crisis on Infinite Earths. Exactly. But yeah, like, I don't know, the whole thing's frustrating, right? Because, and even if you look at the last 10, 15 years, right? Where are all the books from, you know, Brian Hitch? Where are all the books from Carlos Bocello? Where are all the books from Tony Daniel? Where are all the books from, like, all these guys who were strong in the early 2000s, 2010s, all this stuff, right? Where are all those guys? Where are the guys who are still working? Like a guy like Aaron Lopresti, a guy like Sienkiewicz, a guy like geez, like, you know, the names are endless. Like, you think of anybody who is still able to work. Yeah, Tony Daniel, who did The 10th. Ted Danson, who did Blackface, you know? All that stuff, right? I don't know. It's one of those situations where I really, really hate that we basically, like, lost a generation of comic books, right? Yeah, I agree 100%, Alex. Like, yeah, like, remaking games should be, because, like, here's the thing, like, a game like Panzer Dragoon Saga, it is locked on the Sega Saturn, right? Like, a remake for that makes a really good game available to more people, right? Like, that's why you remake a game. That's why you give a game that was so good back in the day a chance for other people to see, right? That's why you reprint books, right, that have gone out of print. That's why you keep that stuff in the social consciousness, in people's mental library, where they can be like, oh yeah, it was so good, I want to go back and read that, right? Like, you keep, like, Casablanca, for example, right? Like, you're always going to be able to find that on whatever format is popular of the day, right? Like, movies especially, so many of these very specific and important classics are always available in Blu-ray, DVD, 4K, you know, go back to whatever the modern high-end format was at the time, you're going to be able to get a copy of it. It's just the way it is. But games, for a variety of reasons, whether it's the publisher, like, you know what I mean? Like, especially if you're talking about Panzer Dragoon, Sega has an incredible back catalog, right? Just like an incredible back catalog of games that they could be continuing to bring up, whether it's collections, whether it's like remakes or remasters or whatever, right? Like, yeah, it's one of those things that's really frustrating to see. Like, Sega will bring out a Genesis collection on like, I have Genesis collections on the Game Boy Advance, PlayStation, Dreamcast, like, well, PS2 is for that Genesis collection, Dreamcast, Xbox, Switch, everything, right? Like, there's just Genesis, like, but they won't put out Sega CD collection. They won't put out a Dreamcast collection. They won't put out, you know, a 32X collection. Like, you know what I mean? It is very bizarre, right? Because, like, you know, especially like a 32X collection, like, can I get Colibri, you know, Virtua Fighter? Can I get, like, a whole bunch of these Sega games, Cosmic Carnage, on a collection? Can I get Star Wars 32X? Can I get a collection of games from Sega? Even just Sega's arcade stuff. Can I get the Daytona games, Sega Rally, Scud Race? You know, can I get a collection of Sega arcade racing games on a disc that I can put in a machine and play? For the love of God, man. You know, that's the thing. That's the thing that drives me crazy. You know, but yeah, the corporations, like, and here's the thing though, like, sometimes it just needs the right person to vouch for the series, right? Like you see certain things, and like right now, Virtua Fighter's coming back. Like Sega after, geez, like what? Almost 20 years, 2006, when Virtua Fighter 5 came out, they are now making a Virtua Fighter 6, right? Like, do you know what I mean? Like Sega, the Yakuza studio, they're making it. They're working with AM2 to make a new Virtua Fighter, right? And so that's the stuff that you're just like, holy shit, man! Like, things can happen, right? Like, so I don't lose hope with some of the stuff, because I feel like you just need the right cheerleaders in the company that will bring this to the higher ups and go, guys, we're sitting on a gold mine here. Let's just do it. Now's the time, right? And so that's why you're getting a new Jet Set Radio right now. That's why you're getting new Golden Axe, all this stuff, right? They had that new Shinobi recently, all that stuff. Yeah, right? Like, well, and here's the thing, right? Like, we finally did get, like, a Streets of Rage 4, right? Like, we did get, like, some of that stuff. But the sad part is, like, because of how things went in the 90s, with the way, like, 3D, like, just supplanted 2D, and Sony is the reason why 2D games basically got pushed to the back burner, right? Because basically once the PS1 came out, and if you were trying to put out 2D games on the PS1, Sony basically said, hey, we don't want that. We want a 3D video game. If you want to make a retro collection of 2D games, cool. But we don't want your 2D games on our PlayStation. That's why the Saturn had all these really great 2D games. Hey, Phil, what's going on? Yeah. But yeah, no, it's very interesting, right? Like, just to see where we could have been if we hadn't abandoned 2D. Like, think of how beautiful and how, like, developed, like, 2D sprites and 2D, like, animation would have become in video games as a whole, if it was allowed to, like, flourish in the same way that 3D has, right? Which is unfortunate, really. It's really unfortunate. Yeah. Man, I don't know what's going on, guys. But it is what it is. Yeah, I listen. Here's the thing. As a guy who owns a PS5, it is the best PS4 money can buy. Right? Because it basically runs all your PS4 games incredibly well. Anything that has an unlocked frame rate will run at like full 60 frames a second. It's the best PS4 you can get. But as a PS5, like if the PS5 wasn't backwards compatible, it would be a terrible machine, right? Like there isn't a lot of Sony first party games for it that make that machine worth owning, right? Like, and I don't need, like, most of the games that are on it are remakes. Like, even at the launch, Demon Souls was a remake, right? Ghost of Tsushima, remake of a PS4 game. The Neo collection, Neo 1 and 2 got ported to PS5. Is a PS4, like, you know what I mean? Like, almost all that stuff. Like, if you look at The Last of Us, you look at all, like, you know what I mean? Like, almost all that shit is just PS4 games. Yeah. Oh, it's sad. Like, do you want me to tell you what happened to Sony, Dale? The same thing that happened to Marvel and DC and movie studios and all that stuff. It's like all the woke bullshit is the DEI hires, the equity, instead of merit. That's what happened to Sony, right? Thankfully, Nintendo has still kind of remained true to being a Japanese company, and they are results based, and they are making things that have to sell and have to have an appeal. Yeah, it's one of those things. It's really bizarre. It's really, like, interesting to see where we went over the last, like, 15 years. Yes. Hey, Perth, what's going on? How you doing? But yeah, like, no, it's 100%. Like, I like Lunar, Lunar 2, Eternal Blue, like those games, just beautiful, right? It always kind of bummed me out. There was Lunar Magic School, and it was on the Sega Saturn, and it never came out over here, and it never got a proper English release. I've always wanted that to get a proper translation and brought out over here, you know. Yeah, like, and well, the Lunar on DS, the Ubisoft ones, you know, not great. The PSP ones weren't bad, but yeah, like, and they have released. Oh, yes, Crimson Desert looks amazing, Perth. That comes out on the 19th as well. I'm very, like, I've got a good PC, right? But I'm very curious as to how that Crimson Desert game is going to run on consoles, right? Yeah. The Saturn version, yeah. But yeah, I'm very curious about that Crimson Desert game because it looks so good. Like, it looks too good to be true. And like, I don't know if it's because games have sucked so hard for the last 5 or so years, that this game looks exceptional in spite of all that, or is it just such a vertical slice of a game that by the time it comes out and you actually get your hands on it, it's like all flash and no function, right? Because like some of the stuff, like it's like there's 3 different characters you can pick with, all different skills. Every skill has a skill tree. You can fly and glide, and then you can ride mounts, and then it like has like sky stuff like the Zelda, all that kind of stuff, right? Like, yeah, like what's Perth saying here? Got your PS5 Pro and pre-order already? Haven't pre-ordered it? Yeah, like I'm serious. Like I'm on that hype train, Perth. Like 100%. Like it. Like I've been following that game, and I'm just like, let's fucking go, right? Like it looks so good. Like it looks like it has this huge open world. It looks like it has tons of mechanics. Like just incredible. Yeah, I have Grandia. Hold on, see if I can grab it. Oh, I have that too. Hold on. I'll set this stuff here. Move this. And there it is. There it is. So I have this collection with Grandia 1 and 2 on it for the Switch. Excellent. Grandia 2 is like, Grandia 2 is hands down one of my favorite JRPGs. Like, just hands down. Final Fantasy 9 would be, if I was throwing together a top 5, Final Fantasy 9 would be in it. And then, probably to some people's dismay, Wild Arms 1. One of my favorite games. Like, I love that game so much, and the brand, like the 3 characters and the paths, and they all coming together. So good. Yeah, just such a huge fan of that, right? Like, yeah, and the Switch, like the Switch and Switch 2 are so great for like RPGs and stuff, because like, you know, you can play stuff on the TV and then you can just pick it up and go play something, right? Skies of Arcadia, also great. Yeah, 100%. Skies of Arcadia. Yeah, it's just such a ridiculous 1,000 Art, Legend of the Gaia. Yeah, all good. Legend of Gaia 1 and 2. I also have like Tales of Destiny 1 and 2. Yeah, it's good. It's ridiculous. Like, and that's the thing, right? Like just straight up collecting. I've been going like Alundra 1 and 2 on the PS1. It's like they're just basically love letters to the original Zelda, and like, you know, like on the Super Nintendo, and you know, the original Zelda on the NES, right? Like just beautiful games. Yeah, no, I Grand Stream Saga, also great. Like, I've got a ton of those. I've got a ton of that stuff. I've been trying. Here's the thing. I have the Atelier Ryza games. It's the first Atelier series that I jumped into because there are so many Atelier games that I'm like, if I start buying them, I will just have to keep buying them, and that's bad, right? Like, I have Collection of Mana right here, you know. Tomba, this is technically a kind of Metroidvania RPG as well. Yeah, just a ton of that stuff. I love that stuff, you know. I don't think you know how old she is, you know? But yeah, Phantasy Star on the Sega Master System, Phantasy Star Online on the Dreamcast. Oh, so fucking good. Just ridiculous. Phantasy Star 4, great. You know, Phantasy Star 2, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, right? Like, I think they think that you're, like, sprightly. I think they think that you're, like, you know, much younger than you actually are. But yeah, like, you know, but that's the thing. That's the thing. Like, a ton of the stuff. And the other thing, too, is, though, like, I know a lot of people who, you know, might be 10, 15 years younger. But they got kind of brought up on the classics, like brought up on the Super Nintendo, brought up on Sega Genesis. And, you know, just really, you know, as far as like what they grew up with the same stuff we did. It's just they were, you know, 10, 20 years younger. Yeah, like, and here's what's crazy. It blows my mind that you're, like, Scamps, that you're only 2 years older than Noah. That's wild to me. That's wild. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. Noah out here on these streets, you know, just barely legally able to drink, you know, and Scamps is like, I got 2 years on you. You know, what's up? You know, entertains me to no end. Yeah. Let's see what here. You quit JRP. Let's see, one of those. Yeah, young grown up on the older stuff. Yeah, exactly, Scamps. Inner Hoodie thought you were 30 for a year or so, then saw a pic without hoodie. What's Per saying here? He quit JRPGs around Final Fantasy 12 or 13. It was 30 minutes of cutscenes, then walk 2 steps, then more cutscenes, turned it off. Yeah, like, yeah, it's one of those things, right? Like, they still make a lot of classic style RPGs, right? But yeah, I can, well, see, here's the thing. Final Fantasy 12 is one of the few Final Fantasies that I never finished. Because of the very thing, that you're talking about, Perth. Because, like, and I hated that main character, that kid. Could not stand him, right? Like, in 12. And a lot of people are like, oh, you got to get past all that and get to the judges and get to all this whatever. And I was like, dude, I can't do it. I can't, you know. And I'm just like, I can't do it. Like, FF9, after 7 and 8, FF9 was like this kind of like return to the feelings of like Final Fantasy 6, right? And like it felt so classic and so natural, and the story was so good, and like all that stuff, right? And then then when you get into 10, you get into with all the stuff with Tidus and Sin and all that stuff. I was just like, come on, get out of here. I'm one of the weird people who enjoyed Final Fantasy X-2 more than I enjoyed 10, right? Because it was just like a lighter and breezier game, and it didn't take itself as seriously, and it was like kind of like mission-based RPG. It was like interesting, and I remember like playing that and enjoying that way more than I enjoyed 10, right? And then 11 was like the online stuff, and then 12 was the PS2 game, and then 13 was like the trilogy with like Lightning Returns and all that kind of stuff. Oh, Enchanted Arms is great. I have that. I haven't. Hey, Enchanted Arms. Hey, this is the thing. Enchanted Arms is a FromSoft joint, right? Like your boys at FromSoft made Enchanted Arms on the 360, and made Ninja Blade. Ninja Blade on the 360, so good. So I'll have to stream that one of these days. Like, yeah, From Software, just like, it's kind of sad. It's kind of sad that From Software kind of got locked into this Souls thing, because like the new Armored Core is friggin' great. All the Armored Core games, super fun, like really interesting games. And then it's like, oh look, we made Demon Souls and Dark Souls, and now we made Elden Ring, and it's just kind of lost in that. Lost Odyssey is amazing. I love Lost Odyssey. Eternal Sonata is really good. Friends of mine like just praise Eternal Sonata to no end, right? Like, and so like yeah, it's interesting, right? Like there's and the three like, and I'll argue it like till the day I die. The Xbox 360 was the Super Nintendo of that generation. Like it had most of the best games, most of the best versions of those games, and it had tons of exclusives, right? Like Blue Dragon was an Xbox 360 exclusive. They had Tenchu Z. Was it Tenchu Z? I think, yeah, it's Tenchu Z, and then there was the Tenchu that's like, yeah, it's Tenchu Z on 360. The PS3 didn't get a Tenchu that generation. A ton of these RPGs, like Mistwalker made 2 RPGs for the 360. Yeah, like Ridge Racer 6. Speaking of racing games, Ridge Racer 6 was on 360 exclusively, right? Like it was no longer a PlayStation game. Just crazy stuff like that, right? Like, well, yeah. Well, here's the problem, Scamps, with the Souls games. The Souls games essentially killed and replaced the character action game, right? Like they replaced the Devil May Cry, the Ninja Gaiden, the Shinobis, those third-person action games, right? And so after the Souls games caught on, everything had to be this kind of action RPG third-person game, right? And it's a bummer. It's a bummer because like Ninja Gaiden's so great. Let's see. A friend of mine was playing a recent Atlas strategy RPG, and I was struck by how janky the animations were. Oh, what was that? I wonder. Was it like Persona Q or like? Yeah, I'd be curious. I'd be curious what Atlas game that was. Or was it? Oh, hold on. Is it that Overlord game or Atlas put out? Oh, it's driving me crazy. Something Overlord or that they put out. Hold on, I gotta look it up now. It's a Vanillaware game, right? Overlord Vanillaware. Ah, there it is. Unicorn Overlord. That is what it's called. Unicorn Overlord was... I'm pretty sure Atlas published that, and it was made by Vanillaware. And that's a strategy RPG. And I'm almost 100% sure. I was going to say, I'm almost 100% sure that I have it. Atlas, Vanillaware, Unicorn Overlord. Yeah, that one. This one. Also, here's one. We'll stick in the U category for a hot minute. Undernauts, Labyrinth of Yomi. Well, Arxis published here. This is very similar to the Labyrinth games and a lot of the dungeon crawlers. Like, it's all first person and super good. Super good. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah, well, listen, that's the thing. Like, and the thing is, if I'm interested in an Atlas game, even slightly, I will buy it because chances are they're going to do a small print run, and you're going to have a fucking incredibly hard time finding an Atlas game, post all that, right? Because after launch, like if they don't do a big print run on an Atlas game, you're getting really screwed after, like in the aftermarket, right? You're gonna pay 2 or 3 times whatever it is, right? And so yeah, like, and that's the thing. And then I hope that would be a bit better after Sega bought them, but I feel like Atlas still controls their print runs to some extent, because they don't print like anything, like even back in the day, like in PS1, PS2 times, if Atlas put out a game, you're going to have a real hard time finding it now. Listen, I wish there were gem games. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it's one of those things. It's very, very interesting, like to kind of see that stuff, evolve. Like it's really cool to see Persona be a huge series now, to see like a lot of these games get more mainstream appeal, right? But then at the same time, it's just like, man, reprint some of this stuff, dudes. Like, why should I be paying $150 or $200 for a Shin Megami Tensei game when you could just put it in a collection or something? You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I don't. It's like that's the thing. We live in a time where the scarcity is false, right? Because you can bring out these games. Like any of these companies can bring out these games. Most of these games can either be fully ported to the modern systems or PC, or just put out in a collection, right? Listen, Sumo would be my cosplay boy. You know what I'm saying? Sumo Thori. I need a sumo man out there, holding a giant hammer. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, that's just how it is. That's where my heart is. You know what I mean? Like, that's where my heart is. It's just how it is sometimes. Just the way it is. But yeah, I don't know. I don't even know how long I've been going. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, well, I mean, that's the thing. But here's the thing, though. Speaking of licensed games, they have that Marvel Maximum collection coming out, right? So they're relicensing all the Venom games, the Carnage games, Silver Surfer on the Nintendo. They just had a big Jurassic Park collection, right? Like, do you know what I mean? So like, if they want to relicense stuff, they can, right? The Turtles games, all that kind of stuff. It's just like, is the want there? You played the demo for Secret of Weeps, an old school dungeon crawl. Reminds me of the DOS days. Oh, really? That's cool. I'll have to look into that. Secret of the Weepstone. But yeah, like, I don't know, man. Like, it's very interesting to kind of like, because it's like we're also seeing a lot of people, like especially in the indie space, making games that have like a retro feel and appeal to them. And so, oh yeah, like the Marvel, it's called the Marvel Maximum Collection. I definitely check that out, Perth. Like it's got like the Genesis Carnage game. It has like the X-Men arcade game. It's just this big collection of Marvel games. So yeah, like definitely check that out. It's really cool. Oh, that's no problem at all. No problem at all. Speaking of DOS games, some OG games could use a collection. Oh yeah, there's tons. Like, well, like it was like the other day that Glenn sent that review for that old Shadow of the Ninja collection, right? And it was like a lot of those like Commodore 64 and Amiga games, right, being collected and put on a Switch cart, right, and on the Switch and on PlayStation and stuff. And so like a ton of that stuff is getting collected, right? And that's really cool, right? Because like this collection of Mana, right? Like that's awesome to see that they're putting all those Mana games together, right? Like yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm trying to think of like any of the other collections I have. Oh yeah. Here we go. I have the Valis, Phantasm Soldier collection, and it has the 3 Valis games on it, plus different versions of the Valis games. And so, like, there are companies actually doing these proper collections, right? And then, like, I have, this is also really cool too. This SNK 40th anniversary collection, right? This has a lot of games from like the 70s, 80s, 90s on it. Akari Warriors, Athena, stuff like that, right? And so that stuff's really awesome. You can't argue with collections like that. They're just good to have, right? You can play a lot of that old stuff. Yeah, Puzzle Fighters. Yeah, that's like Capcom's actually doing a fairly decent job of really doing arcade collections. Like they had that Marvel collection, they had the Capcom Fighting collection, they had the Capcom Beat 'em Up collection, Street Fighter collections, like all on the Switch, PS4, stuff like that. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Hey, Awesomes, man, how you doing? But yeah, like that's the thing. Like there are a ton of those collections, and yeah, like you kind of have like, and that's the thing too. Like a lot of this stuff gets slept on, and a lot of these collections, for whatever reason, are only on Switch. Like it's very bizarre. I don't know if it's like the cart costs are cheaper than Blu-rays, or what, or they're printing in small enough batches that Nintendo is cool with it. But yeah, like a lot of these collections are really like just awesome to have, right? Because like you have no other legal way to access them, and then this way you can play Valis on the toilet, like if you want. And so yeah, that stuff's pretty awesome, But yeah. I think I'm gonna call it a night. I've been streaming for over 2 hours now, and I think that's gonna be a good, been streaming for 2 hours and 33 minutes. I think it's gonna be a good time to cut it off. But yeah, I do appreciate everybody showing up, and I think I'll see you all next time. Ciao, Bella. See you guys. Everybody have a great night. A lot of Nintendo simps think Switch 2 codes are physical games. Yeah, that's true. But yeah. All right, everybody. Have a good night. Appreciate everybody coming in and all the comments and everything like that. Hope we'll see you next time. See you later, everybody. Have a good one. And... oh... where are we going? Where are we going? What are we going out with? Oh, that's what we're going out with.
Chest tonight, electric sparks under stadium lights. I've got a secret, I hold the key. It's a power you won't believe. Turn it up, turn it down, let it roll. I've got that nipple control. Nipple control, oh, let it go. With just one touch, I'm running the show. Twist and turn, let the music flow. Nipple control, yeah. Now you know. Yeah. Now you know. Yeah. Soft whispers flow through the air. Nipples so hard it's beyond compare. Nipples pop like they got no shame, but the beat's to blame, yeah. The beat's to blame. It's a dance revolution. lotion on your chest. Who knew these moves would be the best? Shimmy left, now shimmy right. Nipple control ignites the night.